on, man. It's just not ending, okay? These are live pictures from Kilauea. This is a new eruption at the summit of that volcano. Here's a live look for all of you at home. Whatever you're doing, take a look at it. This is molten rock pumping out of this bad boy, and it's going in all directions. Residents are being warned. You got to get ready to leave with little or no notice. That's the quote. CNN national correspondent Scott McLean has the latest from Powhatan, and one of the problems for you in dealing with this is that people are still trying to live their lives. Tell us the story.
It's hell on earth in a place that's heaven to so many. In just a matter of hours, a virtually dormant fissure suddenly woke up, spewing fountains of lava down a molten stream, destroying everything in its way.
It's all a guessing game.
Bruce Tickell owns 2 properties on this piece of paradise. He may soon have just one.
We're ready to pretty much leave there in 10 minutes if we have to, and it's say goodbye to everything.
It shows me the power of God, the power of our earth.
Donna Mueller's home is just a few hundred yards from this molten sparkler, popping, groaning, and sometimes violently exploding.
Oh, wow. See what I mean?
At first, the constant earthquakes made it impossible to sleep.
Because I couldn't stand it anymore.
When this fissure opened up, it was impossible even to stay.
You can see it blew out this window, glass all over.
As the lava flow quickly approaches, her family has come to salvage her valuables and go. She's not taking much with her.
There's not much. I can walk away. It's stuff.
Just down the hill, Daryl Clinton is risking life and limb to protect 2 homes that belong to friends.
A lot of sentimental value, a lot of good family times.
As we spoke, his friend Mark was looking out for flying lava, and so were we. The yard is littered with fresh volcanic rock.
This lava bomb came and hit right here.
Giant lava bombs have broken windows, dented the water catchment pool, and taken out the septic tank. Even just getting from one home to the other is a life and death game of Frogger.
Look up and watch them. Keep your eye on them. It's almost like catching a football, but you don't want to catch this football.
Clinton has been a quick study on the different sounds of the fissure, the sounds he knows to ignore.
You're good, you're all safe.
And the ones that scream, take cover.
You might want to step back on this one.
Equipped with just a fire extinguisher and a garden hose, he's been spraying down the molten rocks that hit the house.
The insides, though, the ones that we're concerned about, these ones are the ones that catch the ceiling on fire.
It's man versus Mother Nature, in a match Daryl Clinton intends to win.
And this weekend, just a day after we shot that interview, Daryl Clinton ended up getting hit in the leg with a lava bomb the size of a bowling ball while he was standing on his back porch. Now, luckily, his ex-wife was there to take him to the hospital, and she said that the heat of that lava bomb was so intense that it seemed to cauterize the wound on his leg, keeping him from bleeding too much. It was also so hot that it started a fire on his porch that the neighbor actually had to put out. Now, Mother Nature undoubtedly scored a big blow here. Clinton.
massive crack in the ground that's estimated to be up to 50 feet deep has opened up in Kenya seemingly overnight. The crack stretches along Kenya's Great Rift Valley, and many scientists believe it could end up splitting the continent apart. Deborah Pata is tracking developments from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Imagine waking up one morning to find a massive crack running through your home. That's what happened to Elliot Njuguna, forced to dismantle his house by hand before it was lost to the earth below. He lives in Mai Mahiu, part of the Great Rift Valley in Kenya, a region that has already provided a treasure trove of some of the most important archaeological finds in history. And this latest discovery is so significant, scientists predict it will be the fault line along which history is made once again as Africa splits into two continents. Although that won't happen for a very long time, says geologist Ben Andrews.
Fortunately, this does not occur instantly, so we're many tens of millions of years away from having two continents.
The crack in Kenya sits along the 3,700-mile-long East African rift. Geologists say that rift is growing larger as two tectonic plates move away from each other. As this movement continues over the next 50 million years, a large chunk of the continent will eventually split off, creating an island that will consist of parts of several African nations. Scientists, for the most part, agree that the continent is splitting in two, but there is debate over exactly how this most recent fracture was revealed. Andrews believes the Earth did not suddenly split in two, but that it formed over hundreds of thousands of years.
It looks like it was probably something that already existed and had been filled with ash and other material, and then it was flushed out by recent rainfall.
Joining me now from Johannesburg is CBS News foreign correspondent Deborah Pata. She's going to talk to us a little bit about this split. So, Deborah, this giant crack in the earth opened up in what seems like a matter of days. Can you give us an idea of how large it is and what geologists say may have caused it?
It's quite phenomenal, really, Vlad. I mean, it's about 50 feet deep and 60 feet wide. I mean, imagine something like that just suddenly appearing. Although geologists in part are saying that actually it was there all along, just hidden away from the world, and that because of some heavy downpour in recent weeks in Kenya, it cleared away what essentially was volcanic ash, which is a lot softer than normal rock, and that is how it came to be revealed. Although not everyone agrees with how this was formed, but that's certainly a lot of geologists are saying that is probably what happened.
You know, I know a lot of people are really interested in the science behind this, and some of the pictures are really amazing, but I'm very curious about the people on the ground because, as you know, Deborah, things like this can affect people's lives in a significant way. So how are people reacting, and what does this mean for people living in the surrounding areas? How could their lives be impacted?
It already has taken place for some people, Vlad. Well, we've seen some people who literally woke up to see a giant crack in their home. Can you imagine waking up to something like that? One man said that he started screaming and tried to grab as many belongings as he could and actually physically dismantled his home by hand as quickly as possible before it could be sort of sucked in by this giant crack that had appeared there. He now has nowhere to go. So it's one thing to dismantle your home and move, but where do you move to? This is the Rift Valley. This crack lives on a line that is about 3,700 miles long, and there are faults all along there, so this could happen again. The road in the area, a giant fissure, fracture appeared in that road. It's now been filled up with rocks so the cars can continue to move over.